right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is November 7th. It is Thursday and it is Fed Day. I feel like every day there's just something going on, which is great. There's always opportunities, always ways to approach the market, always ways to use your financial roadmap based on what's happening, how it's happening. I got to say, you know, um, the, the sun came out yesterday and the moon, and, the world didn't end, and, and nobody left the country. So with that being said, I hope everyone's feeling all right. I hope everyone has, are controlling what they can and moving forward either which way. If you're group one, don't elbow those who didn't, and if your group didn't win, just move on and figure out what you could do to put yourself in a better position. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. This is 630 Club. And, you take a look here at the technicals of the SPYs, and we have a lot of new points of references right now. You have a big gap up, a big Trump gap up. Hopefully you made some really good money. I'm not gonna toot, but Tesla options were pretty damn good. Bitcoin was pretty damn good. Amazon was pretty damn good. I've been force feeding this to most of you guys, and I had my best day of my career yesterday. Hey, at age 52. But I also had some bad days, so it's not like I'm going out to retire. But every now and then you gotta celebrate a little bit and say, hey, I'm happy that I was able to follow my plan, stick to it. Explain it to those of you here, explain it to those in the Alpha team, all across the board. And I've got a lot of nice, emails. You want to send me an email and say, hey, thanks for being a decent guy. It's Scott at T3Live.com, Scott at T3Live.com. Or not. Or you want to yell at me and be like, you're a jerk. You could do that too. But that wouldn't be nice. Anyway, so here's your gap. Here's 591.93. We'll see. It's opening up a little bit above it. It's been a hell of a move. Lots of different ways, lots of sequences. The Qs are lagging a little bit. They tried to sell down tech yesterday and didn't quite be able to do it. There's a gap here to trade against, looking like it's going to head higher. IWM, oh my goodness, what a move. You have a lot of gaps. So what these gaps are points of reference. In order to, can't get too bearish if, they can't fill this gap. Usually, you digest above it and go. I did add, to my XBI yesterday. I am thinking that, this group still has a lot of room. When it finally breaks above 103.50, I think that this is going to go. I took my IWMs off yesterday. There's some things I took off, some things I added to, some things I managed. First, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Let's see who we got. Big D says, thanks for Amazon. That's cool. What up, Dallas? What up, Caracas? What up, Austin? What up, Mario? Hey, how you feeling, buddy? Allison Kaplan. We got Steve Doling. We got the Space Specialist. We got Itz from Richfield. Itz, you got to come for a Red Dog sandwich. I feel like everything that I say and do, you're right there, and you're very positive, and we got to have, some kind of break some bread, even though I'm not having bread unless it's on a sandwich and I'm not drinking beer. I haven't drank a beer in 3 weeks. Look at that. Put it out in the universe. I'm not going to have any beer, any bread, any French fries, any chips. And here we are moving along. Anyway, what up, Steve? We got Allison. This is everyone on Twitter who's able to speak to me during the 630 Club or on YouTube. I'm not sure. Sometimes they give me some ideas. They ask me to look at some things, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, with that being said, I still think, I think Amazon, is going to 220 at least. And wow, either Jeff was sleeping or he was out, celebrating, or he just said, hey, you know what? I sold 18 million shares and I'm done. They let this go through. And I said, as soon as they let this go through, it's going to happen. That's why we're hyper focused there. I'm still long the stock, and I'm still long 202.50s, 207.50s. I will be buying every dip until we get there. I would think it never gets back below this spot. It probably doesn't get back much below 203. I'll even be buying a little bit today to go right to green, except for, you have these two big candles here, so it might need some time to digest, so just don't get too big. So I still love Amazon, and, congratulations to investors who've been accumulating. Congratulations to traders who timed it well. Congratulations to everyone who had a plan. Tesla, you now have a big gap. This is a nice gap where, they opened it above this big neckline. Some think this is a huge head and shoulders pattern inverse, which is bullish. It could be, or a big cup anyway. So with that being said, I would think a little digestive action, and then it gets above 289. And I wouldn't be surprised by next Friday or sooner that this, doesn't at least get towards 300 to 312. I'd make a bet with any of you guys. Anybody want to bet against me? No, I'm kidding. Just bet with me. No, not bet. We don't bet in the stock market. We trade and we invest and we use a tier system. So Tesla's down a few points. I'll probably wait, buy a little bit. I'll tell you, the options were up huge. The 265s, I think that we had for 3. I don't even know where you could have sold them for 20. You could have done a lot of, things, or they could have been a 0. You got to figure out what you want to do. But the bottom line is, this is technically, look at this. Actually, I didn't even see this downtrend. This was broke this downtrend here, broke this one, and it's literally everyone's like, Tesla's too overbought. It's gone too crazy. I'm like, did it really? I'm like, it's not even above where it was in 2023. It's not even where it was in 2022 or here. And you have Elon Musk, who is probably the most influential, most known guy in the world. Anyway, here he is. Toast to Elon. There he is. It's from, and I think Joe Rogan's pretty cool anyway. Meta. You know what? I don't know. I feel like I haven't played Meta. Meta, no one seems like they're in a rush to buy Meta. I didn't even trade it yesterday. If you want to play Meta, okay, it's the lower end of the range. It's been trending well. It made a new all-time high. It feels like this, no one has any FOMO right now in Meta, but you could be long versus 557, and then if it wants to work its way to the upper end of this range, it's fine. Meta takes a lot of brain power, though. Why is he not on the wall? I want him close by. He's right here. He's arm's length. The wall is a little bit higher. I know I should put him back on the wall, right? I don't want it to melt in the sauna. Anybody work out this morning? Anybody sweat a little bit? I already woke up. I did about 300 reps in the sauna. I went in the ice barrel, and it's funny in the ice barrel. You sit there, and anyway, I can't get into it now, but it's funny. So yes, that's Meta. Apple, I have a little options on Apple too. It's just some patterns are just not A setups. There's different setups. Like you could be long versus here and not be buying a breakout. Not everything's a breakout. The bottom line is Apple's in this channel, and we'll see if it could hold it. If it can't hold it, then it's just not worth sitting in as a technical trader. My son, it's still my son's biggest winner. We bought it during the pandemic in his Robinhood account, and it still looks good. But again, there's the China, there's this. I think you did 155 push-ups today. DJT's, I don't know. DJT's, I stayed away from it. Even though I voted for Trump and wanted the Trump trade, but DJT to me feels like, I don't even know if it's worth anything. It's like an emotional, crazy, stupid, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it, but this is a pretty ugly candle yesterday. Technically this was a good trade, and then you had a red dog reversal and it gave you something. But I would not put DJT and Tesla in the same ballpark. I'm sorry. They're just different. DJT, he might not even be able to be a member of it in some sort. So I know some of the algos, we're putting Tesla and DJT together, but Tesla could still go to 300 or more, and this thing could still go to 25. Okay, who knows what's gone on in that thing? So you could trade it and have fun with it. If you watch the price action, sometimes it's easy to tell. But I would detach this from this, anyway, or do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you what I think. Anyway, talk about IBIT looks great. I'm going to buy a little bit more today. I sold some into strength. I will buy some back. What a nice move. I started with this. Everyone's like, Red Dog, what the hell, turkey trot? I'm like, well, I do a turkey trot on Thanksgiving, and I like to have some fun. You can make these AI pictures, and I put a picture of a turkey, going to Thanksgiving, and that was here on October 11th. So on October 11th, I'm like, who's in? And it's been a hell of a move since. And some people, I'm like, I don't want you guys to be buying Bitcoin at 80,000 on Thanksgiving because everyone's asking about it and it's the hottest thing around. I want you to play it up into it. I've said that before. In 2007, 2008, I was on with Mark Haynes, and he's like, Red Dog, I want a bold call. Not if this, then that, if that, then this. You technicians, you go with what's happening. You're either right or you're wrong, or you're wrong or you're right. I'm going to give him a bold goal. I'm like, gold. I go, you want a a bold call, I'll give you a bold call that my gold's going to 1500 an ounce. You could YouTube this, and it was at 750, 800. I'm like, but you want to get in now before it's at 1200 and 1500. Everyone's talking about it. Anyway, here we are. History repeats itself. This time it was with Bitcoin, and it was very profitable. And I do think you could have 80, 85,000 at some point soon. Buy a dip. If you go to Bitcoin itself, here's the chart. It's looking awesome. A lot of ways you could do it. I did it a bunch of ways, and I'm not, this crypto crazy guy, but I'm long IBIT. I played BITO options. I've been in, cores, remember, 10 to 13. Mister, I only played twice. Wolf, I've been in the entire time in Mara. Kind of sucks, but it's fun at times. So I would say now for Bitcoin, you could let it hold this spot, let it digest, and then at some point it's going to get above this little area and build a nice little bull flag in time, and then continue. Okay, but anyway, that's that. Rates on the 10-year have been ripping. That's true. They were also 5%, 5.2% in the last year or two. Question is, so let's go back to the SPYs for a second. Let's go back towards, today's Fed day. And everyone's like, well, the Fed, what to do? They can't lower rates anymore with Trump and inflation. And I'm like, you're probably right. And, today, I don't know, in my using common sense, what would, I wouldn't say shock the market, but if they don't lower, which they probably shouldn't lower by a quarter, and the market would definitely, rates would go up, and, market would definitely get some volatility and go lower. What I kind of think is going to happen is they're going to do a quarter, and then, they're not going to say whether or not they're doing it in December. It's going to be like data dependent. So today's quarter might be the last cut of this year, and then who knows next year. We keep going like this to 63, 6,400 in the S&P up into the first quarter next year. There's no rate cuts, in my humble opinion. But anyway, we have this to trade against. We're not that overbought. We're getting close. So we'll see how it goes. If you have a lot of profits, take some. We could still get some volatility, 230. Watch the TLTs for some action. The TLTs, came down towards 89-ish and came off that. You can make this a little bit lower now. Market hasn't really cared. Rates have gone up and the market's gone up. So if you're shorting the market because rates are going up, how well are you doing? You're just not doing so well. Try not to be so smart. Listen, there's a little something for everybody. I have my blood in the street account that sits there waiting for the market to pull back 5% or more, is earning 4.4%, sitting there doing nothing. My 401k is getting every single month and going with the market and the 529. So there are people that like to have, a decent rate for it without having to put their money in the market. But we'll see. This was as low as 86 and 87 at some point. So we're not even, markets don't like new thresholds. You know what I'm saying? And right now we're at what's a 10-year, like 4.4 or so. It gets closer to 5, then maybe by that point, the market will be overbought enough that we come in. We'll see. Yeah, APP was a ripper. Someone asked me about UPST for numbers. You know what? I bought some options in this. Not saying you should, but there are some smart, funny guys that think that the report's going to be good after the close. So I bought some $57 calls. If you look at the weekly chart, it's just a play. Look where this is. Why can't this get back towards 72? That's where it went in July. Nice little pattern here. Look where this was back in the heyday. So someone just asked me about it. So I like it. I'm going to risk like, $3 to $5 grand to make maybe 7 to 12 grand. That's what I do with options plays. So this looks pretty good. How high can NVIDIA go? I don't know. NVIDIA to me hasn't been so special. The semis haven't been so special. I haven't been focusing my time there. If you have to be in a semiconductor, I do think NVIDIA, obviously is the one. And I would think pre-number, this will probably work its way towards, like you haven't heard me talking about this as much because, when you have Tesla go 35 points and this goes 5 points, it's a little bit sexier to be, in Tesla or what's it called, or even Amazon the way it did it. But I like it. I think this goes. I think NVIDIA still works its way. Earnings are when? Earnings are when are earnings? November 20th. So you still have time. So if the market wants to trend higher and they can't sell today with the volatility, this is something. I don't think you need to be in everything. Also, I haven't looked at AVGO in a little while, but some people like, hey, what about AVGO? That's probably second second in command in the semis, which probably true. So you had to be in semis. I would think, this could work its way back towards 186 ish. So and then you have Qualcomm up. So that's probably fine. What about Oklo and SMR? I bought some SMR on the dip. Only options though. This still looks pretty good. Got back above the moving averages. This has been one of my. If I looked at my prop report, which is how I look at what I make money or not in, this has been this and Oklo has been like out of nowhere. I had no idea what these companies were 3 months ago. That's the beauty of finding an active sequence and staying with it. Started getting involved here around 13, and then bought some options into the 21 day, and it's been awesome. I do think this gets taken out, and I just continue to buy the dip. Every time it's down a lot, I buy some options. Oklo is not as clean, but it's trying to repair. We started getting involved in this down here, and this made me tremendous money. And then you had a big red dog reversal right here, and that means it's got to rebuild. Remember Dash? You guys like Dash? Red Dog Dash is done. I'm like, Dash is not done. It just reported on a bad day, and look at Dash. Whoa, that's friggin' fantastic. I've been telling you, I thought it would happen on earnings, and we didn't make as much money there, but I think you could continue to trade Dash, and Dash will get back towards the post IPO highs, and it has room to 175, 188, and it's going to continue to go. This has been a new name, and it's been great. Reddit also. Reddit, wow. I got rid of that on the power plays, but I actually might even get, you have a pro earnings gap to trading. And so there's a lot to do. Don't focus on, the end of the world, or this isn't going to end well, or maybe you didn't get exactly what you wanted. Make the best of any situation and go with it. Be a little flexible and figure it out. That's what we do. We try and figure it out every day. Look at the roadmap. I posted the roadmap. The roadmap, at 52, what I've done and how I've accumulated it, and it could be done. Just start somewhere. If you're 35 and you just have a 2-year-old, start at 529 for your child. So this way, when you get to college age, you have a lot of money there. If you're working for a firm and they have a 401k, let them match it. Okay, just do it. Sacrifice. Get a whole life insurance policy also. I've been doing that since 35. It's, anyway, whatever it is, sacrifice for today so you can have a better tomorrow. But enjoy today, because tomorrow's not promised. Later, guys.